Welcome to Perkycrew. In this video, I'll be discussing the free AAs that we get, item upgrades, the Rarity system, custom content like the Gauntlet, Mansion, and Castle, the rebirthing system and how we earn AAs here, the alt epics that each class gets, key NPCs, custom commands, and the player run buff and teleport bots found in the Nexus. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in.
We get a few AAs for free here on Perky's. If you click Can Purchase, you'll see we get 4 options for free under General. These can all be maxed out except for Run Speed, which we only get 3 ranks of for free. You'll also get Pet Affinity, and if your class supports it, Mass Group Buff.
Okay, so we have our free AAs, and we're in POK at the starting point next to the Soul Binder. If you're not here, that's okay. You can Origin, and it'll bring you here. This stretch of map is going to have the majority of the important NPCs that we're going to interact with. Over here to our left is the Gauntlet Dungeons. This is an in-game activity that sees you fight 26 raid bosses in the hard mode and 22 in the normal. You'll fight them one right after another. So as soon as they die in hard mode, you have 30 seconds before the next boss spawns. In normal mode, I believe it's still 1 minute in between. It's been a little while since I've had to run normal. Running normal mode will get you the Heart of Corm for free from the last boss. This heart is going to give you access to Morel's castle. We'll talk about that a little later. The heart can also be bought from the key vendor, which we'll see here in a moment. And lastly, normal or hard can be run as a way to flag for time, as projections will spawn to hail after each of the boss's death. And then to our right over here, we have the item upgrade vendor. So items on Perky drop with various tags. An item can be normal, it can be enhanced, rare, epic, legendary. Here's armor, so you can see the difference here. And then as you later get on to end game and you're in Voshin's Peak, gear will also drop as Draconic aged 1 through 5. So you can kind of see some stat differences here. Draconic gear, a lot of it's really some of the very best in the game. The heroic stats alone are incredible. And with this item upgrade vendor, you can actually upgrade these items to the next level. So for level 1, going from level 1 as in Draconic aged or normal, going to level 2 enhanced, it'll cost 1k plat. Level 2 enhanced to level 3 rare is 3k. Level 3 to level 4, which would be epic, is 50k. And then going from epic to legendary is only 1k. So for 50k, 60k total, basically, you can go from that to that. And that's a pretty big difference, especially early. And then of course later on, that's quite the difference as well. Then when you get into Rebirth dungeons, you'll have mythical gear. Those you cannot bring here to upgrade, but I wanted you to see the differences there. So this would be Rebirth 1, Rebirth 2, and Rebirth 3 gear. Not too bad. You can see the differences there. See it in a weapon. And keep in mind, these here for demonstration are all pretty low end. Remember that Draconic gear I mentioned earlier being the best? Well, it drops as mythical rebirth as well. As you can see, it's quite literally the best gear in the game. It's fantastic. Because of the item rarity system though, we also have this vendor here to the left, the Disenchanter. So when you're working on your epic, the items that you're going to be farming can roll using this RNG rarity system, which means you can end up with a legendary soul leech. which, while not bad, especially starting out at that level, pretty good gear, I can't turn in and continue my epic. So I can come here, hand him the item, and he'll hand it back to me as a normal item, completely free, doesn't cost you anything. That way you can continue on. Here we have the Rebirth vendor. The rebirthing system is what makes Perky's so much fun. I'm a Shadow Knight base who has rebirthed into Rogue, Berserker, and Beast Lord, opening up their AAs to me in the special tab. You become incredibly strong. In order to rebirth your character, you're going to need to hit level 50 and have a set amount of AAs per rebirth requirement. So, for level 1 you need 500, level 2 1500, and level 3 2000. When you've hit that mark of learned AAs, you'll come to this vendor, hail, and then choose your class. When this happens, you're going to be set back to level 1, and you're going to lose a chunk of your AAs. So at 1, it requires 500 learned. It's going to drop you back to 125. Rebirth 2 requires 1500, and you're only going to retain 525 of that 1500. Rebirth 3 requires 2000, and you'll retain 900 AAs. Again, you're set back to level 1 for each of these. Leveling's pretty painless, don't worry about it. When you rebirth, you're also given a book of rebirth. You can ignore this book until the last rebirth. It requires to even use the book 2250. When you get to 2250 AAs, you use the book. It gives you 750, puts you at a 3k cap. It can't be used before then, and because of the drastically high AA loss on all the others, it's just not worth bothering with it. Speaking of AAs, let's talk about how they're earned here on Perky's. Rather than grinding experience for AAs, creatures will drop scripts of lost memories. These scripts use the same rarity system that we spoke about earlier, so they'll come in normal, enhanced, rare, epic, and legendary. Point for that being is normal is 1 AA, enhanced is 2, 3, 4, and 5. From there, they then come in 2 other variations: script of planar power and a script of rebirthed memories. So remember those thresholds we just spoke about? 500, 1500, and 2000 for the rebirths? Well, let's come into play for our scripts. Scripts of lost memories can be used between 0 and 1500 AAs, but no higher, and most mobs will drop these. Scripts of planar power can be used between 0 and 2000, but no higher. Mobs in the plains drop these. And then scripts of rebirth memories can be used from 0 to 2250, and then these are farmed in the rebirth dungeons. With this in mind, everyone will have slightly different opinions on how to use these. Personally, till your rebirth 2, use whatever you can get your hands on, then start saving them and only using the correct one within the correct bracket. Wait, but how do we turn scripts into AAs, you ask? All scripts we've gathered while slaying the denizens of the world must be turned into alt currency. To do so, we simply right click. From there, they'll go into your alt currency tab. Once you've clicked on each one at least once, that'll actually populate in here. You can then highlight it and click reclaim, and it'll gather all of them that are in your bag of that type. Makes it much faster. Once they're alt currency, you need to come to the Nexus. Only the Nexus. The turtle lives in both the Nexus and the POK, but only the one in the Nexus works. Here, you're going to hail the frog, and you can auto redeem your AAs, or you can choose exactly which bracket you want. So get out there and kill something. Next on our tour of NPCs is the Bard. This is for the custom content, the Beast Domain. I believe this is a 30 to 50 zone. Honestly, I haven't messed much with this. She'll request you get a last page, which is found in the Crypt of Dalnir. You return it, and you'll get access. I'll have to release another video on this place at another time. Honestly, when I first started, I went in under-geared, under-leveled, didn't have a good time. I just haven't been back. Maybe you'll have better luck. Maybe I'm really missing out. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, spinning around against the wall next to the item upgrade vendor is the projection of Moral Thule. This is the guy that needs the Heart of Qualm in order to enter Morel's castle. It's a great in-game zone that has unique spell drops, 1 per class. It's got a crazy atmosphere, the loot's pretty good, decent money, not quite as well as this next place. Next to him is Melodreth the Malignant. Both of these NPCs are located here in POK and inside the center of the Nexus. If you hail him, you'll need to do a quest to collect 4 of his spheres to then turn in. These orbs can be found off of named mobs, other players for free, or essentially free in the bazaar. They're definitely worth getting and doing. This place is without a doubt the best place to farm plat in the game currently, as well as some of the best augs that you're going to need come from here. The mansion is split into 3 floors. The first floor, I think all the mobs are right around 35-ish. You could technically go in and be okay at that level. There's a boss on the first floor called the Chrono Ravager. He's really going to be the first DPS check / reality check that we get in the game. He puts a lot of players in their places. The second floor is everything's level 50. It's got harder mobs. You've got to be a little more careful. A lot more bosses. There's also a basement full of undead, but that's another video for another time. Really, you'll get to know the mansion very, very well while playing here. So go in there, explore. It's a really great zone. Other key vendors are right here next to this tree. You've got research vendors. I haven't played a class that needs that, so I couldn't tell you how needed that is. You've got the saddles and bridles. It's 100k. And you'll get a random mount. You can get super rare stuff, super fast stuff. The one that you will need though is the Keymaster. You'll hail him, or no, you won't. You'll open his shop. Make sure you uncheck the show only items I can use, because it'll hide some like important keys from you. Here's the Heart of Qualm that I mentioned earlier. Like Saging by, it's 12-13k depending on what your charisma is. Your key for Voshan Peaks will be here. Keys for the islands of Sky, so on and so forth. Alright, and then we have what's called the main building. It's called that because it's got our general supplies, it's got the alchemy supplies, it's got the turtle. This turtle is limited in what he can do. The real main turtle is going to be inside the Nexus, but this one still accepts items for different quests. He'll accept the book from the general supply vendor that allows you to reset your AAs back to level 1. You've got your banker. The spell weaver is very important. So the server has Epic 1.0, which can then be evolved by killing with it and gaining XP into the 1.5. You then kill some more and gain XP with it to turn that into the 2.0. We also have alt epics for each of the classes here on Perky's. I actually still use my Shadow Knights just because I haven't gotten a helmet that's quite better yet, sadly, somehow. It's really great. Warriors, I know theirs is fantastic. I don't think anyone's is as good as theirs, but you'll talk to her. She'll give you a quest. I highly recommend going to the server's Discord. There's a lot of great information on how to do this quest and all of its steps. You've also got the parcel guy back here. He's a vendor / parcels. On our server, you can access the bazaar at any time by saying /bazaar. You can then find the items you want, buy the item, it'll send it to you here in the parcel. You never have to step foot inside of the bazaar. It's great. We've got a little augment vendor. This is really great for new players because it'll give you some healing augs, some damaging augs that are worth getting. I believe it is the dial-based gem line that you're going to want to get, as well as siphoned fragment, because this damage, I believe, scales with your level, even though it doesn't say it does. I don't know. I'm going off information that's kind of old. I haven't tested this in a while. Maybe I need to return to that. You'll have your distillers. These are needed, of course, to yank out augments from your gear. It's going to happen quite a bit. You've got your bag and satchel vendor. You get your biggest bags right here. The server also has L done, but that's going to be a whole nother video for another time. It requires you to have 2 people in your party go in, do the adventure, and you can get pretty big bags there as well. But for now, these are going to be your main source of bags. Then, if you want to be a barbarian Shadow Knight like me without needing a clicky, you come over to this guy, you say, hey, what's up, man? You can change your sex, you can change your race, any combination, there's no restriction. It's pretty awesome. Next. Here we'll find a few important NPCs and some of the most important players on the server. Player-run buff bots and teleport bots. They are player-run, so they're not always up and they're in different locations. Oddly enough, at the time of making this video, none of them happen to be up. But I'm still going to show you where they typically are, because 90% of the time they're going to be there for you. The first one is Duke. It's a gnome wizard that sits right here against this back wall. He's occasionally found dead center of the Nexus, but vast majority of the time he's right here. Send him a tell that says hi. He'll reply back with all of his translocation, port commands. If it's a port, add him to the party. If it's transloc, just say hey. Whatever the command is, take me there. At the center, it's typically Frog Team 6. They bounce around corners. I don't think they're always in the same. But it's a guild with that name. All frogs, of course. That'd be fun. If they were dwarfs, trolls. Trolls would be funny. Anyway, send one of them a tell that says buff me, and all of the bots will then buff you. Other than that, we have the translocator. You can highlight him and say, take me to Sky, or take me to Fear, and he'll port you to those. He'll also port you to the different spires, as well as your DZ that you have open for 100 plat. The others are free. You've got Morel, Melodreth, and the Bard, so that you can get to all the custom content, the Beast Domain, the Mansion, Morel's Castle. And of course you have the Turtle, who we talked about earlier, with all of his full capabilities and AA redeeming qualities. We're almost done with our tour of the important areas here on Perkycrew. Last stop's the Guildhall. We don't have a lobby, so don't click the door. It'll just port you to the other side of POK. Once inside, of course, you've got your banker, guild banker, distiller. Got parcel vendor in the back. Most importantly, we have custom commands here on Perky's. So while you're out here, you're going to run across a lot of augments. A lot of them aren't going to look great compared to some of the others. You'll be tempted to throw them away or sell them. Instead, hoard them, all of them. Come to the Guildhall, and you're going to create some socials. One that says aug add, and one that says aug roll. Technically, aug remove as well. It's a possibility. So the idea is to get at least 10 augments, and you're going to add them to your list. Once they've been added, and this will add all of these that are in my bag of the same type. Once you add 10 of them, you can then hit aug roll. And that'll roll those 10 into a random that can be anything, including some like crazy high heroic stat MRC gems that are just amazing. It's basically like hitting a lotto, especially if you do it right off the bat. As you get into Rebirth dungeons, you're going to start seeing mythical gear. The mythical gear has the exact same system. So you do mythical add, mythical roll, mythical remove. And the remove is just in case there's an item that I do like, I accidentally added it, I can remove it and do my roll without worrying about losing it. Same thing for the AUG. Now, there's two other commands that we have access to. These are accessible anywhere in the game, but I figured I'd talk about them here. Hashtag my stats will bring up all of your stats. Shows your health level, your offense, different caps for spell damage, healing, shielding, which this is like the first thing you want to max out. It's super important. The other is exclamation point pet stats. If you've got a pet, you hit that button, it'll give you all of their stats. Not too bad. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. There is one more set of commands. The sell add feature and auto sell. So much like the add feature for the others, you come in, target an item, put it to your list, target an NPC, auto sell. Boom. It'll sell all of them that you had of that type and anything else you had on the list. It's really great. It's really fast, especially once you've gotten down a zone pretty well where you're selling pretty much the same stuff over and over. Just come in, hit auto sell, add whatever didn't get picked up. It's really great. I recommend it. Well, if you stuck around this far, thank you. I hope you found the information helpful. I'm brand new to doing this, so please leave me a like, follow. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what I did wrong. Comment what you'd like to see next. Want to see more of me and Perkies? Stop by my stream on Twitch. I'm there daily. And join the server's Discord, man. There is a bunch of great information there. Patch notes are there. It's a good time. Catch you guys in the next one.